together a little bit. Do the Mr. Miyagi. You guys know who Mr. Miyagi is? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the place where we make some anabolic goodness right here in my kitchen. We are going back into Coach Greg Doucette's Ultimate Anabolic Cookbook 2.0. We're going to be doing our own take on the Anabolic Avalanche ice cream treat. We're going to do a different spin. Instead of using the lava cake topping that he has in his recipe, we're going to change it up and we're going to make our own healthy, anabolic, high protein Reese's peanut butter cup like topping. The ice cream's still going to be thick. The topping's just going to have a different flavor, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be super anabolic. Let's get to making our topping first. Here we go. For this, we're going to be putting in 26 grams. Boom, 26 grams on the money. Just like we learned when we redid the chocolate cookie explosion, you want to add as little water as possible to this PB2 powder. So you want to do it really slow, mix it up as you go. We want to get that nice peanut butter-like consistency. So let's get that started here. A little bit going in. And even when it looks like it's going to be too dry, you want to start mixing it up then. A little bit more going in. Very little bit. All we want to do here is get a nice, like I said, peanut butter-like consistency. So still a little dry, as you can tell with a little bit of water that we've put in so far. But you want to mix it as much as you can before you put any more water in. You want to be exactly sure of how much water is going to be going in to keep that right consistency. So you can take a look at that there. That's perfect. You wouldn't even know if I took that out of a peanut butter jar or not. That's the consistency that you want. All right, we are done with this. Now it's time to move on to the chocolate part. Because we're doing a cold recipe today, I don't think we need to worry about whether it's casein or whey. I think either one's gonna work fine. For our chocolate, we're going to be using whey protein powder. So for this, we're gonna pour in exactly 1 scoop or 32 grams. We gotta top off our protein. A little over. So next up, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add in some sweetness to this. So 2 packets of Splenda going in, so about 2 grams. And for this part, we're actually going to siffer it in. You guys loving the siffering or what? You ever heard of it? Do you even know what I'm talking about when I say siffering? If you watch the other videos where I talk about this, just curious. Just leave me a comment down below, let me know. By the way, guys, speaking of comments, why don't we also smash the like button right now? And if you're interested in more videos like this, why don't you subscribe? Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Got those 2 packets of sweetener well integrated into our protein powder here. Now we're gonna start adding in our water. Water going in again a little bit at a time. You will need more here because there's more volume in the protein powder than there was in the PB2 powder, but we still wanna go nice and slow because we wanna get the right milk chocolatey consistency here, for lack of a better way of saying it, melted chocolate. Once you start to see it all kind of dry out a little bit, that's when you want to add more water. Make sure you have as much incorporated into the water as you can before you add anything else. This might be good here. We're just going to mix it around a little bit more. Wait till you guys taste these. I've already tried making these before and they are at least an 8 out of 10, but I'd love to know what you guys think too after you try it. See how that's like a melted chocolate consistency? That's what you want for these Reese's cups. You know what, guys, just for fun, we're gonna add 1 more packet of sweetener into our PB2 powder. I know we didn't siffer it in, but that's okay. We'll try to mix it around as best we can. Get as much sweetness in here as we can. You know, for 0 calories, why not, right? Here we go. All right, and that's what we got. PB2 powder, right consistency, and now extra sweet as well as anabolic. You see I have one of these little pans. They're gonna make like little mini peanut butter cups. And the first thing you wanna do is take your PB2 powder that you have a nice peanut buttery consistency with, and you wanna start making little balls, little balls of peanut butter. All right, so first thing, of course, before we do that, we do have to hit it with some nonstick or we're never gonna get these things out of there. Or at least it'll make it a little easier. Now we're not gonna fill all of these up. We're gonna end up chopping these up at the end and I'll kind of show you guys once we get to that point. But first things first, we're gonna take our PB2 powder that we have in our peanut butter consistency and we're gonna start adding that into the tray first. And the way we're gonna do that, you wanna spray your hands just with a little bit of nonstick. Kind of rub them together a little bit, do the Mr. Miyagi. You guys know who Mr. Miyagi is? Hope so. All right, and then you're gonna take a little bit of the peanut butter and just make a little peanut butter ball with it. And then what you're gonna do is just drop it right in, pick any one you want. Drop it right into one of the little cup containers that has no cup container in it. You know what I mean. You know, we always get a little dirty in our videos, so we're gonna shoot for about 6 of these. I think is a good number to have. You get harder to make into a ball the longer you go because it starts to get stuck to your fingers. So I'm gonna wash my hands off and we're gonna get going with the chocolate part. Now that we have our peanut butter balls all set to go in here, the next thing we want to do is use our melted milk chocolatey whey anabolic goodness to cover the rest of the cups. And we're going to fill in right on top of the peanut butter. Leave a little bit of space at the top. It'll be easier to get the cups out once we take them out of the freezer. Next up, what we're gonna do is put these in the freezer for about 10 or 15 minutes, let them freeze up, and then they're gonna be perfect once we finish making our anabolic ice cream. Speaking of that, let's get over to the food processor and start putting together our ice cream. So we're gonna start with our vanilla-based protein, 16 grams going in. We've got ourselves a cold recipe today, so we're not using any xanthan gum, we're using our guar gum. 1.5 grams of this going in, just like that. Next, we need 60 milliliters of almond milk. Look at that, we're using a measuring cup today. 60 milliliters going in. And what's a Coach Greg recipe without a little 0-calorie sweetener? 1 packet, about 1 gram, going in. Then we need a half serving of our frozen fruit, up to 50 calories. Today we are using blueberries. Going in. And last but certainly not least, and what makes this thicker than last time, is our ice. I have about 1.5 handfuls, maybe you could say 2 handfuls of ice going in. And I think I want to grab a half a handful more. Like I said, we're rolling the dice. And we're making it thicker than last time. Here we go. All right, now all we have left to do is blend this up. It's definitely looking thicker than last time. I think we got to scrape down the sides a little bit here. All right, let's let it keep blending. All right, let's pop the lid, see what we got. Try that again. All right, let's pop the lid, see what we got. Woo! Look at that. Now, that is some thick anabolic goodness. I think it's time we add our topping to this and give it the old taste test. This is the most anabolic ice cream I think I've ever seen on one dish. Oh my goodness. Let's cut up our topping and give this a try. We don't want it to melt. So we had these chocolate peanut butter cups in the freezer for about 15 minutes now. I took them out, they've been resting for about a minute outside here, so they're starting to melt a little bit. Now's a good time to take them out, cut them up, and get them ready to go into our ice cream. So let's do that now. See, now this is really where the cups come in handy, because you could just lift them right out and then peel them down. So made our life a little hard today, but that's okay, it's still gonna taste good. All right, and they're certainly not pretty looking, but you know what? They're gonna taste real good. So now we're just gonna cut them up a little bit, and we gotta work fast because they are starting to melt. Just kind of cut them up into fourths or thirds. You just wanna get that peanut butter and chocolate flavor from these. This one's starting to melt a little bit. So we're gonna toss these into the ice cream and get right to our taste test. All right, here we go. And then once you get them on there, let's just give it a little mix. Get it all pretty well incorporated here. Time to go grab a chair and try this. Here we go. All right, so you have no idea how fast you have to work when you're making an anabolic ice cream recipe because things start to melt pretty fast. But we got it over here. It's ready to go. We have our topping. We have our ice cream. It's all mixed together. It is so much volume. I'm not even sure if I can eat it all, but I can tell you I'm gonna try. All right, so let's just dive right into the taste test. We're gonna grab a little piece of our homemade anabolic Reese's peanut butter cup. Make sure we get it in the first spoonful. And we're gonna give it a try. Here we go. Oh my, that works really well together. I was a little worried about the blueberry flavor. When I was doing it, I thought maybe I should use strawberries, a little milder flavor, but no, this works. This is tasty. See how it could work with the lava cake too. Let's get a bigger piece of the peanut butter cup here. Oh yeah, the guar gum really did its job and blew this thing up. Oh yeah, so when you get one of those big chunks of the Reese's-like peanut butter cup and you bite into it, if you were to compare it to, say, an ice cream like Dairy Queen or wherever you might be, wherever you get a tasty ice cream, it's like they mixed in the actual candy flavor with the ice cream, and it's at least an 8 out of 10, definitely. Oh yeah, the peanut butteriness. The chocolate, the peanut butter, and the blueberry kind of goes well together. I mean, you don't really taste the blueberry so much. It really just tastes like ice cream. And if you can make it 80% as good, why wouldn't you want to have that instead on a regular basis? All right, so I'm gonna flash up the macros here for the ice cream and for the topping that I did, so you guys can see what it all amounts to. Pretty reasonable macros for the amount of food that we have here, that's for sure. You know, there's so much volume in this that, I laugh every time I say volume. It's so much massive, it's such a mass amount of food that you almost could never have enough toppings, but I'll have to try it with the lava cake too. I bet that might have a little bit more volume, that's the word of the day, to it. It might spread out a little bit better, but there's definitely enough of the chocolate peanut butter cups in here. I feel like I'm getting some in every bite here. Even the ice cream by itself is good. Yeah, so overall, definitely 8.3 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it with the lava cake. This is good. There's just so much of it. I'm not even halfway done and I'm already getting full. Ooh, brain freeze. Eating too fast. It's gonna go away, it's gonna go away, it's gonna go away, and it's gone. Okay, it's hard to stop eating it. Even though you're full, you want to keep eating it. Yeah, those homemade chocolate peanut butter cups are where it's at. You gotta try this. Let me know if you try them. I wanna know what you guys think. I think we gotta try some with a little, sugar-free syrup. Got to, right? We're almost obligated. Let's put a little bit of this in there. All right, just a little bit. I don't like a ton of chocolate sauce particularly, but you gotta try a little bit because it's in Coach Greg's recipe, and if he's recommending it, it must be good. So let's try it. A little bit of everything in there. Ooh. Yeah, that adds a good flavor to it, that's for sure. And as I said before, not a big chocolate guy, so I wouldn't put a ton on. It's in Coach Greg's recipe, so it must be anabolic. And it's almost gone. 8.3 out of 10. You gotta try it. Do the recipe. Let me know if you do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Guys, I almost forgot. Buy this frickin' cookbook, would you?